how has COVID-19 changed Canadian politics?
Well, I think at first it was how it changed Canadian politics was there seemed to be a sense of collaboration, like decisions needed to be made quick for the interest of public safety. And so what I noticed at the beginning was a lot of putting, political views aside and just doing what needed to be done as quickly as possible to get people the support they need. Whether or not that's going to continue or has continued, I think is up for debate. But at first, that seemed to be what was happening.
It's a bit of a tight rope to walk for politicians, I think, and trying to appease both sides, which has kind of ended up in a deadlock, it feels like to me. Not a lot has really been done, and it's great with CERB, and that's helped people out, but eventually that's not a long-term solution, and eventually that money is going to have to be paid back, and it seems to be causing a bigger rift, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
I don't think the politicians seem to want to show up now in Parliament, that's for sure, and they're using this as an excuse to get away with it. That's what I believe anyway.
What I've been observing right now, I think both parties were trying their best to help out, help the economy, help the people out, regardless of their different ways and opposing ways. I think both outcomes is just survive and then make this country sure it's gonna recover and people are protected.
Canadian politics is definitely under a very scrutinized lens. I think that Parliament and members had to make decisions very, very quickly. They did what had to be done for the economy, for the better of, I guess, society. And of course, they've been scrutinized for that. So I guess they've just been really in the public light a little bit more than usual.
That's a hard one. I think elections, New Brunswick had a tough election, so that really affected that. And I think it really pushed the governments towards social services rather than pure capitalistic stuff. It's been very tough for politicians to deal with business shutdowns and things like that. But we were overserviced in many of the retail and restaurant services anyway. So a little bit of fallback isn't. There are going to be some winners and losers, but a little bit of shrinkage isn't going to hurt us too much. There'll still be a place to get a coffee.
I just think it's made everything more complicated. It's just added another layer.
Yeah, I think you can just really tell how much the economy matters to certain people and how much health matters to certain people. So it's a divide a bit. I guess.
It's made it a lot more divisive. I would say that too, for sure.
I think it just reorganized a lot of the priorities. A lot of the focus is actually on making sure people are safe and taking the right measures for that.
So basically, I'll see they more health they care about, but economy as well is number two. Will come after that.
I don't know. The topic of universal basic income became more relevant because this could have been a trial period, or some people are discussing it as a potential trial period. So it opens up the discussion for a lot of new ideas that wouldn't have otherwise had breathing room, I think.
I don't think at its root we're seeing any changes in Canadian politics itself in the larger sense. You might see some small ones in local electoral contests, but the overall structure is not changing. We're still seeing an elite that largely operates through the two main parties. At the local level, maybe some small adjustments. People may be afraid of local voting, but there are no structural changes here.
Definitely it did change the order of priorities drastically, and obviously for the next little while, nobody knows exactly how long they're going to have to deal with the impact of COVID on the all sphere of our lives.
I think it's made more of a division amongst the political parties, probably, and the people.
Definitely has changed Canadian politics. I think it's made people focus more on the leader and what he's doing about it.
In politics, it's changed. I think that the Liberals did an amazing job with acting fast, so helping Canadians to get their CERB and get them on benefits that they need it.
Oh, geez. I think we spent too much for sure on CERB, giving all the money away. It's going to come back to bite people in the butt with taxes and everything, I think, because I don't think a lot of people saved, money from what they got. It's going to be interesting to see what the economy, next year is like. That's for sure, with all the money given away. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It'll be interesting.